maybe some of that also is just like
agriculturally.
campaign finance reform and
That's a good one too. I like that
being
one.
able to have
I like that one.
that kind of
Money
influence
funneled
over
in.
people that are making decisions about these
I like
things
that one.
and in charge to sort of, you know, lead us through these sorts of problems.
Yeah, so I mean, this is all tied up. I didn't start out to be an Occupy Wall Street guy. I didn't have any political ambition. I just really didn't want. I wanted to kill climate change before climate change killed me. But now it's all the piece. You can't have one without the other. I mean,
all the money.
the same way our climate is a complex system, human society is a complex system, and in politics is dependent on economics, which is dependent on agriculture, which in turn is dependent on the environment. To change one, you really have to make changes in all of them. So it's quite a thing. But first and foremost, at least from the environmental perspective, we have to break the spine of the fossil fuel companies because they have more money than anybody has ever had in the history of money. And they have a real vested interest, right or wrong, in protecting what they've got. I mean, their business plan is going to kill us all, but they have a vested interest. That's what capitalism makes you do.
You can also put people on that science committee that believe in data and science.
That would be nice.
Not the schlumps that are there.
That would be nice.
I would approve that. That's a good first step.
Yep, I think that would be a good idea too. So there's a couple ways where the fossil fuel companies are getting attacked right now. One is pipelines. I went and did my first pipeline protests last week, which was fun, I guess. I still feel a little weird walking around carrying a sign, chanting slogans
Portland,
and
right?
stuff. Yeah, it was miserably cold. So one is we're stopping the pipelines. Like there's all this shale oil that's coming out, which is exceedingly dirty oil, by the way, that's coming out of Canada, and they're looking for a way to get it to market. And they're trying to build all these pipelines, and they're trying to stop the one down the middle of the country. That's the Keystone one. That's the one I'm going to protest in 2 weeks or something like that in Washington, D.C. But there's other ones too out the ass end of Canada. There's one that's trying to get through to New England. That's the one we protest in Maine. And basically, I feel like any influx of cheap oil is going to lull people back to sleep now. Like what people pay attention to is how much money they have to pay at the pump, right? If people have any anger or bitterness towards oil companies right now, it's not because they're fucking the climate, it's because they have to fill their car up with $4 gas, right?
Although don't people tend to blame like politicians for that more than
Why isn't Obama making
Why-
gas cheaper?
Yeah.
right? Exactly.
Just fix it.
I mean, that's kind of
Make
how
everyone get a
you
new
hear.
job.
In a lot of
about
ways.
it.
I mean, there are a little bit of taxes and subsidies for gas, but mostly it's the market. Everything is traded on a global market now.
Yeah.
So even if our gas cost $2, they wouldn't sell us that gas. They would take it to Europe and sell it for $4 there because you can sell anything anywhere now, and they're going to go wherever the highest price is. So pipelines, we're going to kill those. We're going to divest. That's the big one now, especially on college campuses, which means take your money out of oil stocks. That divestment was a really good tool in killing apartheid back when they wanted to shame South Africa, and it's been a good tool in social movements in the United States since then. So that's part 2. And the part 3 is the one we should have done a long time ago, which is incredibly dumb, which is the government gives billions of dollars in subsidies to the oil and gas companies every year. They give like 5 or 6 times what they give to renewable projects. They give it to oil, coal, and gas. So that's stupid. We're basically subsidizing our own demise, and that one has to go away too. And once their spine is broken, that will get us a lot of the way, but it won't. That really just starts the debate.
Right.
That's when things starts.
Right.
So it starts with the narrative, and then it moves on to energy, and then it moves on to all the other wonderful socioeconomic stuff we're gonna have to figure out along the way. But really, all I care about now is just raising awareness.